Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Lauren Williamson. This week, Governor Healey revealed new details about the escalating housing crisis affecting thousands of families across Massachusetts. Faced with an unprecedented surge in demand for emergency shelter, Healey says the state is at a tipping point and has issued a call for federal assistance. Take a look.
Well, thank you, everyone. We're here today to provide an update on the state's emergency assistance program and to share some new steps that we're taking. As you know, in August, we declared a state of emergency in Massachusetts due to unprecedented demand on our family shelter system. The trend continues to be driven by the arrival of families who are new to our country. I want to be absolutely clear about who these folks are. They are families, some expecting moms, and children. More than half are children. And they are here lawfully, allowed in with the knowledge and consent of our federal government. So we've met this moment in Massachusetts using all the resources, creativity, and the partnership that we have to offer. We've opened 2 new welcome centers, set up legal services programs, contracted with human services providers, called up National Guard members, and we've also seen local communities step up in so many ways. But we've also made it clear at every step that our shelter system cannot expand indefinitely. This level of demand is not sustainable. We need urgent support from the federal government, which bears ultimate responsibility for this situation. Today, we can share that our shelter system is on the verge of reaching capacity. As of yesterday, close to 7,000 families are in emergency shelter. That's more than twice the number of families we were sheltering a year ago. The reality we are facing now is this: we do not have enough space, service providers, or funds to safely expand beyond 7,500 families. We expect to hit that limit at the end of the month. From that point on, we will no longer be able to guarantee shelter placement for new families entering the system. I want to assure you that we will continue to engage, assess, and serve every family who appeals for help as best we can. Families with high needs, including health and safety risks, will be prioritized for shelter placement. First, I'm appointing a new emergency assistance director to lead operations in this new phase. Lieutenant General Scott Rice has more than 4 decades of experience in the U.S. Air Force, including as director of the U.S. Air National Guard. He served as the TAG of the Massachusetts National Guard under 2 administrations, both for Governor Patrick and Governor Baker. In that role, he led emergency management teams through situations that include snowstorms and floods where families needed support and communities needed a partner. General Rice will work across our incident command structure and in close collaboration with local officials and stakeholders. Last week, at our request, officials from the Department of Homeland Security came to Massachusetts to view the situation on the ground. We want this visit to lead to action, because over months of multiple requests and meetings, we have communicated directly and clearly the needs we have here in the state. We need work authorizations. We've identified specific regulatory and guidance adjustments, as well as logistical improvements, all of which would expedite the review process and help families become more self-reliant more quickly. We also need funding to cover ongoing costs of providing shelter and services. Here in Massachusetts, we have shown that we can move forward in a unified way from our shared values, but we can only go it alone for so long. It's time for the federal government to step up and do the job we need them to do. But today, we wanted to be very clear about the state of play and about new measures we are taking to address the current situation.
We know the current model is not sustainable going forward. That's why our message to the federal government has also been spoken with one unified voice. We have made multiple requests to the Department of Homeland Security for funding, resources, and work authorizations, as the governor mentioned. Those requests have been joined by advocacy from the Attorney General, the state legislature, the Mass Business Association, the Boston Archdiocese, and the Association of Independent Colleges and Universities in Massachusetts. When officials from the Department of Homeland Security were here, They not only got to hear from us, they also visited with local leaders and providers on the ground at shelter sites to see with their own eyes what the needs are and what it's costing us to meet them. This has truly been a collective effort. But as the governor said, with winter months approaching, we know this will be upon us very soon, and we need everyone to understand, especially the federal government and anyone who would send newly arriving families our way, that we are at our shelter limit capacity. With 23,000 individuals in shelter, that's equal to the size of a small city spread out in 90 different places. From now on, we're going to be managing this system, but we cannot continue to expand it. We're going to manage it with our Massachusetts values, keeping the needs of vulnerable families at the center of our efforts. We're confident in our ability to move forward in this new phase as a team. General Rice is going to lead this work on the ground and serve as a resource for local officials and communities, and we'd like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you, Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll. It's actually good for me to be back in this historic building, and it's great to be teaming up with an administration that is doing the things the right way. I'm a longtime resident of Southampton in western Massachusetts, and this state is my home. I've raised my family here. I've worked for 30 years here. I have strong relationships across the state and Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the Massachusetts National Guard, to include serving as the Adjutant General, and I've responded firsthand to many statewide emergencies. It is important to me that our state succeeds in meeting this humanitarian challenge. I'll bring all my values and all I've learned to bear on this crisis. I spent a career leading large-scale organizations and emergency response operations. I've learned that communication and partnerships are key to meeting a challenge like this. This is the approach I will bring to this new role, working across the incident command structure that's been already set up in close collaboration with local, state, federal, nonprofit, and advocacy group partners. We will be responsive. We will be transparent and trustworthy in everything we do. And I am honored that Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll have placed their faith in me to lead this critical mission to ensure the safety and well-being of families in Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you.